Aloha kako. It is January 2023 and the 117th Congress has come to an end. It has been my greatest honor to serve as your United States representative for Hawaii's 2nd Congressional District. Just 2 years ago, I was sworn into office with my wife Maria and our daughters by my side, holding the personal Bible of Senator Daniel Kahikina Akaka. 2 years later, as I leave Washington, I'm extremely proud of the work Team Kahele accomplished and the aloha spirit we brought to our nation's capital. From day 1 to day 730, we worked tirelessly to protect, strengthen, and elevate our home, our culture, and our Olelo Hawaiʻi. I would not have been able to do this without my incredible staff, and I would like to highlight some of our most memorable moments together and take this opportunity to say mahalo nui loa to each and every one of you. Over the past 2 years, we have all had the privilege of serving Hawaii's 2nd Congressional District, a district that over 750,000 residents call home. It spans the entire state and touches every island throughout Hawaii. We visited communities throughout our district and personally talked with thousands of constituents. We listened, and your concerns became our priorities. In March of 2021, when floods devastated our communities, destroyed homes, infrastructure, and forced long-term road closures in parts of Oahu, Maui, and Kauai, our team took action. We immediately conducted numerous site visits on the affected islands and became keenly aware of the unique issues that affected each community. We walked the streets and various rivers of Haleiwa, Laie, Hauula, Waikane, and Kaholu'u on Oahu. We surveyed damaged areas on Maui with Mayor Victorino and in Hanalei with Mayor Kawakami. We worked with our congressional delegation and sent a letter to President Biden to request federal emergency funds and a disaster declaration to assist the communities that desperately needed help. Our letter resulted in the receipt of federal funds to assist in the cleanup and repair of local infrastructure. Working together with Mayor Blangiardi and his team, Councilwoman Suniyoshi, the Army Corps of Engineers, and the Laie community, we secured the funding and City and County of Honolulu commitment to address the flooding in Wailele Stream that has plagued Laie for decades, and we are proud that this critical flood control project will begin in the near future. And when needed, we answered the calls for help from communities outside CD2 in collaboration and partnership with U.S. Congressman Ed Case and his outstanding D.C. and Hawaii team. Congressman Case was not only my partner in the House, but my mentor and friend. He prepared me to be ready for Congress on day 1 and supported me in several key initiatives during my term. Working together, we conveyed to the new Biden administration changes that would immediately impact the Native Hawaiian community, like federal consultation and securing the reestablishment of the SES position of Senior Advisor on Native Hawaiian Affairs in the Department of Interior. When the United States Navy poisoned the Red Hill Aquifer with fuel, Congressman Case and I introduced the Red Hill Watershed and Aquifer Initiative, or VIACT, federal legislation to permanently shut down the Red Hill Bulk Fuel Storage Facility. This legislation, coupled with a whole-of-government collaborative effort and led by the community, resulted in the Secretary of Defense announcing the shutdown and permanent closure of the Red Hill Bulk Fuel Storage Facility less than a month later. As only the 2nd Native Hawaiian to represent the state since statehood, in Congress I introduced the Prince Jonah Kuhio Kalaniano Ole Protecting Family Legacies Act, bipartisan legislation that ensures long-term tenancy to beneficiaries of the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act and their successors by addressing the divisive blood quantum issue. I also introduced the Leandra Vai Act, federal legislation to demilitarize Makua Valley and return it to the people of Hawaii. The restoration and return of over 4,000 acres of land at Makua Valley is important to the Hawaiian community, the Waianae community, and all of Hawaii. As its lease comes to an end in the next few years, it should be returned to the state in its entirety. One of the most important responsibilities of every member of Congress is to keep our constituents and our communities safe. That is why my team and I created a strategic, statewide crisis action plan that included fundamental principles and guidance to facilitate and organize government agencies, resources, and stakeholders during a humanitarian or natural disaster crisis. Now, I'm going to hand it over to my staff to share a few more details about our office and how we work together to serve you, the people of Hawaii. Now I'll turn it over to our Chief of Staff, Christy Wagner.
Mahalo Kai. It has been an honor to serve as your Chief of Staff in the 117th Congress. Together, we set the mission, values, and policy priorities for our team in order to deliver the most effective and efficient services to the people of Hawaii. We hit the ground running from day one, and we were able to secure two important committee assignments last year, the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee and the House Armed Services Committee. We organized our team to advance these and other policy priorities, and also by constituent services, field liaisons, communications, and operations teams. Our entire team's mission has always been to bring leadership through the Aloha spirit to our nation's capital. Over the last 2 years, we recruited, hired, and welcomed a total of 60 full-time staff, part-time staff, and paid interns to Team Kahele. Our staff was based in Washington, D.C., and across every major island in Hawaii. Our goal was to organize our office to deliver for Hawaii's families in our communities across the state. Despite the fact that our team was geographically separated, every week we would meet to share updates on our work for the people of Hawaii. During these meetings, we would take turns to verbally reaffirm our commitment to our core values of aloha, as originally defined by Auntie Pilahi Paki. These are akahai, meaning kindness to be expressed with tenderness; lokahi, meaning unity to be expressed with harmony; olu, meaning agreeable to be expressed with pleasantness; ha'aha'a, meaning humility to be expressed with modesty; and ahonui, meaning patience to be expressed with perseverance. These core values, along with a positive attitude and respect for one another, guided our team as one cohesive unit. The people of Hawaii's CD2 are who we served. Your voices guided our priorities, constituent services, and legislative policy. To share more about these important policy pieces, I'll turn it over to our Legislative Director, Kana Smith.
Mahalo, Christy. As Legislative Director, my team and I covered all aspects of the Congressman's legislative agenda. I want to recognize the work of our hardworking policy team. First, Serena Lee, who handled the Congressman's House Armed Services Committee and worked tirelessly on legislation like the Red Hill Vi Act and the Leandra Vi Act. Dave Chun, who handled our team's agricultural work, introducing numerous bills to support Hawaii's specialty crop and floriculture industry. Sonia Norton was our first legislative correspondent and legislative aide, making sure we had a 2-week turnaround for all of our mail. Kadar Marshall, who assisted with ensuring community-funded projects, went to our most needy communities across the state. United States Marine Corps Master Sergeant Chad Townsell, who as our Defense Fellow, assisted with the Armed Services Committee work, and Hokulani Jonathan and Nikki Oka, 2 fellows who helped spearhead our Native Hawaiian portfolio. Through our work in the House Armed Services Committee, we ensured Hawaii's priorities were included in the National Defense Authorization Act, or the NDAA, which included funding to prioritize the shutting down of Red Hill, allocating further funding for the Bachelor Enlisted Quarters at Kaneohe Marine Corps Base to ease the burden on the local rental market, and provide more opportunities for full-time National Guard and active reserve members by increasing the number of days they can serve before counting against active end strength. We sent out over 71,223 responses to 26,630 individual constituents with an average response time of less than 2 weeks, and prioritized our constituent concerns through amendments and legislation. Throughout the last 2 years, the legislative team has worked to support democratic priorities and deliver victories for the American people, including the American Rescue Plan, the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, and the Honoring Our Promises to Address Comprehensive Toxins Act, or PACT Act, to support our veterans who served. We also worked to bring back federal resources to our district through community-funded projects. Last year, we brought $6.6 million to nonprofits, and this year we're expecting to bring back more than $19 million to support community health centers, keiki-focused nonprofits, and communities from Hilo to Kapa'a. I'll turn it over to Deputy Chief of Staff, Ikaika Mahoi, to discuss our district office.
Mahalo, Kana. As Deputy Chief of Staff, I oversaw all operations in home in the district. One of the first priorities for Congressman Kahele was to ensure equitable access and representation for all constituents in the 2nd Congressional District. This meant moving the district office out of downtown Honolulu in CD1 and into the Hilo, the 2nd Congressional District. This is the first time in Hawaii's history that a primary congressional district office has been located on a neighbor island. Recognizing that every community has a unique set of needs, Congressman Kahele positioned key congressional field representatives on Kauai, Oahu, Molokai, Lanai, and Hawaii Island. With a small district staff, we wore multiple hats and covered a lot of ground. I want to recognize our neighbor island field team. On Kauai, Michael Contreras, Molokai, Jean Ross Davis, Maui, Stephanie Ohigashi, and on Lanai, Joelle Akiaoki. In addition to their other roles, Hanale Liloi, our Constituent Service Director, acted as Hawaii Island's field representative, and Roz Makala, our Communications Director, served as field liaison for the island of Oahu. Every month, either virtually or in person, we attended 11 neighborhood board meetings in the district, over 250 in total for communities on Oahu, the only island to have neighborhood boards. To the neighborhood board chairs and members, thank you for your service and commitment to Oahu communities. Together, our team conducted hundreds of site visits and community engagement meetings throughout CD2. We toured farms, schools, assessed flood zones, met with military and government officials at all levels, talked to business owners, homeowners, first responders, veterans, and community leaders from Hawaii Island to Ni'ihau. Mahalo nui loa to all the individuals and community organizations who worked with us to coordinate our site visits. Thank you to our scheduler and office manager, Jasmine Brankful, for keeping us on track. Now I'll hand it over to our Director of Constituent Services, Hanale Liloi, to share the accomplishments of our casework team.
Mahalo, Ikaika. As Director of Constituent Services, first and foremost, I'd like to thank you, our constituents, whom we've been able to serve over the last 2 years. Thank you for trusting our team to assist you. I'd also like to thank the many federal, state, and county agencies we've worked with and their congressional liaisons. Your help and cooperation have been greatly appreciated and deeply impactful. To the 16 interns and Wounded Warrior Fellow that joined our Congressional District Office, thank you for your invaluable assistance and service to our office and our community. Mahalo Kavena, Carly, Rena, Jessica, Ayana, Pulama, Cody, Amelia, Shaden, Avalon, Ava, Deva, Kyla Marie, Jennifer, Eloise, Leoshina, and Arki. I'd also like to thank the 21 participants of our Native Hawaiian Health Advisory Board from across the island chain that convene quarterly to offer real-time updates during the critical points of the pandemic, as well as provide our office with policy recommendations. Finally, I'd like to thank our phenomenal constituent service team for the countless hours they've put in towards resolving many of the concerns brought to our office. Our casework team included Ethan McCown, Nicole Gray, and Zoe Leonard. We worked with constituents across the state on various issues, including Social Security, healthcare, small business, taxes, immigration, and veteran affairs, to name those most frequently accessed. Together, we were able to resolve over 2,200 constituent cases. We've returned over $800,000 to our constituents of the 2nd Congressional District, and we participated in over 250 Honolulu neighborhood board meetings and community meetings. We've also had the great honor of nominating a select number of students to join the nation's top military academies. None of this would have been achievable without this incredible team. A'ohe hana nui, ke aluia.
As you can see, there is no I in team. From day one, this team worked tirelessly to address your concerns and meet your needs. With much to do and arguably one of the most geographically challenging and diverse districts in the nation, we sprinted the entire length of these past 2 years. During this time, we hope that we have added value to your lives. Although our time in the 117th Congress has come to an end, rest assured that we remain committed to do everything we can for the betterment of Hawaii. Thank you for trusting me, for trusting us. It has been our pleasure to serve you, our constituents and communities throughout the 2nd Congressional District of Hawaii. We extend our best wishes of aloha for your continued health and success to you and your families. Mahalo nui loa, Hawaii. Until we meet again.
A Hui Hou.